toast with my beer can. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. 2024 Poetry Bomb. I had to do this once at the now closed Circle Brewing Company. This is why I'm at the the grain tower right here. I said I have to do this because who knows when this is going to be torn down, right? But because we bought a sixtel of their Doppel, the one thing I lived for, I made a point to open it up today so that I could put it into a can and be able to enjoy it with you for this one last time here at Circle Brewing. So this is for you guys. And that's delicious. And I'm trying to figure out, because there have been storms horrifically all day today, I'm so thrilled that I'm able to actually read today. Should I put on my glasses? I'm not sure. But what I did want to do is share in this time with you poetry from a brand new book that is being released by cyberwit.net. They have asked to publish a book of mine every year for the past 4 years. This will be year 4. They originally did a collection book of mine that people like Jason Noah in Chicago agreed Eternal Never-Ending Now was a good title for it. The second book was an entire women's issues poetry book, since I've been an acquaintance rape workshop facilitator for years, and I've done advertising and been a counselor to so many. I have so much material that I did a book on women's issues that was released during Women's History Month 2 years ago, titled Shattering the Glass Ceiling. Last year I did a book in 4 parts. First part, because after leaving Chicago I was moved to Texas, a very, very oppressive state, and after Trump's filling up the Supreme Court with conservative judges, they got an opportunity to overturn Roe v. Wade. So something that has been a right all of my sentient life is gone, and I got to see how it affected women on so many different levels for a year plus, and so I was writing about it, which took up the first half of this 4 parts book titled Testament that was released last year. And this year they wanted a book from me, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to do something about travel, about things around the world. I might even cover stuff about the universe in this thing, and talk about climate issues or differences in cultures and all of that kind of stuff. And I have a copy of the book on this iPad right here, and this is a cover which you can't even see. I know, I'm sorry. This book is titled The Universe is in Your Hands. The universe is in your hands. And what you've got is a James Webb Telescope image from one of the first sets of images that they retrieved after they actually started up the James Webb Space Telescope. But it is superimposed over parts of the United Nations, with a lot of flags in here, because there's a lot of stuff from all around the world. I have done 2 readings so far from this book, stuff about the universe, and I've been going around the planet. I started in Australia, and I just got to the mainland of California, and I was going to start moving further east from that point. And so this first poem I wanted to share with you is from the larger poem In the Air, but this is part 1, verse 1, Nevada. And I'm going to try to show you. You're not going to be able to see it, but I could try anyway. 2 shots of the Hoover Dam that are in here. You can see them well in the book, and I don't know if you can see them online unless you knew where to look for them. But this is a really, really short piece to represent Nevada. In the Air, part 1, verse 1. On a plane, flying over Las Vegas with my family, my sister and mother in one row, my sister and myself in one row, my parents on the other across the way. We're nearing the end of our flight. Mom tells me to sit down in her seat and look out the window as we fly over the Hoover Dam. Sitting next to Dad, I watch him lean over the window saying, "Just look at all that concrete." I look over his shoulder. The dam no larger than a thumbnail. The water like cracks in the sidewalk, like wrinkles in the palm of my hand. The cool thing about that story is my father took over my grandfather's concrete company, Kuypers Concrete. I'm trying to show a better shot of this image for you guys, and it's probably not working, but I've got all these cameras, and I had everybody on a live feed as well. But it's there for the book for that for you guys. Oh, and then we're going to skip up. We're going to move up in the country, because we got to go up and down as we're going east across the country. This one is a short one for Montana, and it's titled Out in the Middle of Nowhere. Never been here before, driving across the United States on my own, scanning the rolling Montana roads. Right now, while driving my first car, Montana doesn't have a daytime speed limit. But when I read a notice that said that doesn't mean you can speed per se, because cops can still pull you over if you think you are driving irresponsibly. I love ambiguity in the law. So, not seeing cars or cops for miles on this Montana morning, I decide, why not floor it and responsibly speed for I don't know how many miles. The speedometer went as high as it could, redlining past 120, 125, 127. I love how it just skipped ahead for me. Rolling past 125 or 127 miles per hour as I was driving on Montana. And then I saw this medium red Saturn SL1 just speeding along, and I thought, I'll just drive until, I thought, well, that was something, I guess. So I dropped the car speed back down to 90 out in the middle of nowhere and went on my way. Sorry about that loss of my page. I had to scroll from the beginning of my book on this pad to get to that poem for you guys, but that was a little one for Montana. And this next one is for Wyoming. And let me see if I can zoom in on Old Faithful. Because he appears in the book. Old Faithful. Ta-da, Old Faithful. I know I'm showing it for different cameras, you guys. And it's very visible in the book. And actually, I run literary magazines at Scars Publications. And CC&D Magazine just had a January through April 2024 issue collection book, and it is titled In the Moment, and the cover is of this picture of Old Faithful going off. And it's a big color photo, so you can see it if you go to Scars.tv very handily. But that is the photo that is used on this page for the Wyoming poem, very short one for you guys, that is titled, Who Had the Real Power on Planet Earth? Roll your eyes at going to the first Taco John's in the franchise, and don't even question how odd it is that Tex-Mex fast food joint got its start in, of all places, Wyoming. Just enjoy eating their potato Lays, even if they've changed their hot sauce recipe, making the trip to anyway, so you just have to cope with it. So make that trip to Yellowstone, because it seems like clockwork that Old Faithful geyser will give you the postcard perfect picture. But what else are you going to see? Unless you search for a nearest glacier to walk on top of. Just be careful when winds pick up, and like instinct, you'll just crouch onto the ground to protect yourself from Mother Nature. Because I don't care if you love the high rises of downtown cities in the States, peering from the once 96 floor lengths of the once John Hancock building. Great views from these enclosed skyscrapers is one thing. It's another to face the elements of nature head on, to truly understand who has the real power on planet Earth. Short one from Wyoming. And I think this is one of two for Utah. This first one is actually one that I also read yesterday during Animal Tales, and it was something that I performed in a feature show at the Baha'i Faith Center in Austin years ago. And I will show you a little photo from the event too, or from the actual occurrence. This is a poem that's titled Ultimate Connectivity, A Bird in the Hand. So, after a night camping at Bryce National Canyon, yeah, there was snow on the ground, but my sleeping bag zipper wasn't broken. I got out of my tent in the morning, and a few little birds fluttered by. Now, one seemed to hang out a little too close, so I put some grain in the palm of my hand, stretched out my forearm, and remained perfectly still. Almost on cue, less than 2 minutes later, a bird landed on the palm of my hand and enjoyed the bounty I gave them. And suddenly, I felt like I was Mother Earth. I could stretch out my arms like a scarecrow, but this time the animals wouldn't be afraid. And with my outstretched arms, I could give them food and shelter and love. And maybe that was when I twitched my finger, or else I was out of food. But the next thing I knew, my little 3-inch little bird took a step or two along my palm and across my fingers before it flew away. I have an actual photo from doing this with this little bird that was just eating out of the palm of my hand. It was just the cutest thing. It was the cutest thing. I think I'm going to take a quick break because I don't know if one of the cameras is working, but I wanted to be able to share stuff with you, and I will do more poetry readings very, very soon for the 2024 Poetry Bomb, and I will talk to each and every one of you very, very soon. Hang in there. In the meantime, enjoy the Once Circle Brewing Company, and stay safe, be good, and peace.